All right, all right. This video is going to be maybe a part 2, even a part 3, because type video series based on what I'm doing for combining states to reduce numbers to create a smaller pool to fish from. Now, okay, first of all, I got to say this. Doesn't matter who you are. You're playing pick 3 lottery. You gotta fight these 220 numbers, right? You can start off with 220 and then go look at the keys that are due and the pairs that are due and whatever you want to do to reduce this, right? We all do it some way or another. And every day you start over, or every draw you start over, and you try to reduce it again and again and again, and you hopefully get a win. What I'm saying is I never start with 220. I never start with 1,000 numbers. Okay. I never do that because there's ways to reduce that to start off with a smaller pool, like I did in the other previous video with the color charts and the SBP and stuff. But there's another thing I do. And like what I'm trying to say is I don't do all this. Okay. So somebody might think that I'm doing all this at one time. I don't do all of it at one time. What I'm trying to do is like, if I don't see something in one of the things, one of the avenues, then I take the other direction. All right. So this is just one of my directions. And this is one of the ones that I've won the most money off of. To be honest, it is. It just is. Now you can do this on the Pick 3-4 SUG, and you can do it over on Lottery Post. I use both, and Pick 3-4 SUG is bread and butter because it's got all my charts and all the other awesome filters. But I still like the combination analysis thing over here because you can combine states and kind of, it's just my way of doing things, and everybody has their own way. But so this is going to maybe not going to be I don't want to make this to a huge video, so I'm going to kind of break it up maybe. But let's just see what I can do right now. So first of all, so we all start with 220 numbers, right? And so somebody say, well, you go and reduce your numbers or you combine states. How do you know one of those are going to hit? Well, how do you know that one of your numbers is going to hit just because you say, you know what, I think today is going to be a single. All right. So you go ahead and you do your single. You got 120 bucks. Well, how do you know it's not going to be a double? You see what I'm saying? How do you know? How do any of us know? That we always take risks. There's always risks involved. And, and like I say, I don't really track doubles. So when a double does hit, it's like a wrench thrown at me and it sucks. But it's just the way it is. Some people play doubles, some don't. So when I'm tracking, like, for instance, when I'm tracking, let's just go over to, because I'm going to play Tennessee morning. Okay, let's just go to Tennessee morning. Now, when you go to Tennessee morning 10 days, I don't care what state you're at. And let's just do full Tennessee. If you do Tennessee, okay, go to no sort. Okay, most recent draw, SBP pattern. Okay, you're going to notice something. That one dominates. It doesn't matter what state you go to. Majority of them, the one at 10 days, I mean, that's really pretty conservative. Look at that. One dominates, right? New Hampshire, the one dominates. Okay, there's going to be some states that are not going to, of course, but for the most part, they do. They're all, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So what I'm getting at is we all reduce the numbers. You're always trying to reduce the numbers. Okay. And here's what I'm saying. So I go to Tennessee. I see all these ones. Okay. I'm going to go to Tennessee morning and see what that shows real quick. So look at that. All these ones. Now, could it be a 2 tomorrow? Yeah. One of these could turn to a 2. 100%. Or it could be a double tomorrow. And then I'm screwed, right? Right? I mean, look, is there going to be a double tomorrow? I'm going to say no, but there could be, but I'm not going to play a double. All right. So if a double hits, then whatever. Then, but this is what I'm saying. So it could be a 2, but I don't care. I think I'm going to stick with what dominates at this time period at 10 days. I mean, 10 to 14 days or so, the ones. So look at these patterns right here. One of these patterns, if it's a single tomorrow, 90% or more will be one of these. So it eliminates 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 numbers. It eliminates 30 numbers. So now you're down to 90. Okay. But I don't do that. You can do better than that. You can do 20, 30 days. Like, let's see what it shows here. Let's do 20 days. See, even at the 20 days, there's a high chance that's going to be a 1 tomorrow. All right. I manipulate it. Look at it. Look at a 30-day. Now you're getting a little bit more risky, right? But you see what I'm saying? So there's always a risk. And what I'm looking for is like this right here. You see that? That's what I'm looking for. Something like that when I'm flipping through states and stuff. So what I wanted to show is that. See that? Then I'm like, you know what? If it doesn't look like a double's going to hit and it looks like a single's due, and there's a good chance that tomorrow's is going to be one of these numbers, right? And just so happens to be that that's exactly what happened. A 1 was pulled. You see? See what I'm saying? 1 was pulled. So I'm just trying to reduce numbers, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. So let me show you one of my, and I've showed it in other videos already. Okay. One of the things I do. So I'll go over here to the combination analysis. Okay. I go to pick 3. I'll go down to my state, Wisconsin. I'll do midday and evening. Now, this is where I've won a good amount of money. And it's kind of like sometimes I say, what am I doing? I need to get back to what I used to do and start with this and then break it down with other filters and stuff. But at the same time, I'm having really good success in practice with the SB pair pattern. And this is flipping like I was showing in the other video, constantly flipping. And then also the new color chart where you're able to look at the colors and break that down as to see what's due. And that's going to be, I know it's going to be awesome. I know I'm going to get wins from that very shortly. Okay, so these are all just avenues to reduce the numbers, so I'm not playing with 220 like your average schmuck. I'm not playing with 220 numbers. I'm never going to start with 220 numbers, because what happens is when you do that, you start with 220, and then you go, okay, I think it's going to be these 2 keys are going to be used. One of these 2 keys will be used. These keys are hot. I think it will be these cut sums. I think it will be high, high, low, and I think or maybe I think it'll be high, high, low, and a low, 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 and I think it'll be, you sit there and break it down, and before you know it, you still got like freaking 50, 60 numbers sometimes, very often actually, yeah, you get it down to 15, 20 numbers sometimes, but you did a ridiculous amount of filtering. What I want to do is do that filtering, but I want to start with a smaller set of numbers, and that's what I do. And I do that through the SBP because, like I've showed, the SBP cycles constantly. Purple, red, green, purple, red, green. And right now, green is due. Green's going to be hitting soon in the morning. 100%. It's not even like a freaking matter of like, oh, I don't think so, man. Well, then you're an idiot. Because look at it. It's constantly hitting. This is every state. It's like saying the pink's not going to return to the front, over here. Oh, pink's not going to return. Of course it's going to return. And it's like you have to learn when to play things, when they're due and when not to. Like I always say, some people confuse me. Like, I'm not looking at like combinations, like 3-digit combinations or even AB and stuff on the inspection stuff, because they'll be out like freaking 500 draws. I'm not looking at this stuff. Certain things, when it's in here, it's going to flip. All right. And that's what I'm saying. So, you look at this 1%. Sometimes the 1% can mean ice cold and don't waste your time. But then other times like this, mark my words, take a picture of this. These will not last. These will not last. Am I saying it's going to hit tomorrow? No, but it very well probably will. And if it doesn't, I would keep watching because it's going to hit. In this pool here, now in Pennsylvania, if you're playing Pennsylvania only, you start off with only 40 numbers. You don't have to play all these numbers. Now you do your keys and your pairs and your high and low stuff. And now you get it down to like 2 or 3 numbers and you're not spending a ton of money. And if you lose them, so what? But then the next day, or the next draw, maybe it will show something. Maybe it'll show you that it's going to be even odd boxed. Now you just reduced it by a ton, right? Maybe it shows you that keys 1 or 6 is going to be used. Now you got like a couple numbers, and then that purple stock just goes up further and further. See what I'm saying? So, saying all that, this is one of my main things that I do here. So I'll go to pick 3. I'll go down to Wisconsin combined, and then I'll do box, and I will not click the double. I will unclick the double because I do not play the doubles, not on this, and I do unclick the triples. If I play the doubles, it messes with the time period. Okay, I'm doing singles only, and I'm doing box. And now you can do 1 year, you can mess with it. I've sat there for hours just dinking around in 30 days to 7 years. And 7-year works very good too. But watch this. I'm going to go all available history. And I know a lot of people say that makes no sense. And like I said, I understand that because when you look at, like I showed in the other video, things balance out, like the SBP colors. You go to 8 years, it's all balanced out. But if you go to like, a month, 2 months, one of them will stick out more because one's hotter right now at the moment. So in the moment, yeah, a lot of times you want to play that. But when it comes to this, it can go both ways. Now watch, all available history. Now I'm going to go to right here. I'm going to go to last seen. See, this is all mixed up right now. I'm going to go to last seen. Now, first of all, interesting here. Look at this. These combinations have not hit since these dates. So these haven't even hit, but I don't really care. So it's just fun sometimes to look at this because you'll see, like, when you look at the straights, you'll see stuff that'll be like literally back in the 90s. It's crazy. So here you go to last seen, June 10th. So that was, yesterday now. Okay. This was the evening number. This was the midday number. And I had 268. I really thought that the 2-6 pair was going to drop. But you know what? The 2-8 pair was due too. So I should have thought about that a little bit more. And this was actually in a time period that I talked about last night. It actually was in a time period, and it was only about 48 numbers to pick from. And I did play from that pool, but I eliminated that number because I honestly thought there's going to be a 1 or a 6. And that's where I screwed myself. And then tonight's, I didn't really do much. So that was the number for tonight. And let's see. So now when I get to this, I'm not looking at the combinations. Okay. I don't care about the combinations right now at all. Like, I wish I could just block that. I'm not even looking at that. I'm not looking at any of this stuff here. I don't even care what that says. I'm not even looking at any of this stuff. All I got to make sure is it's on last seen, and I'm looking at the times drawn. That's all I'm doing. All right. Now, what I'm doing right now, I've already showed in other videos, but what I'm doing right now is no different than looking at these. Okay. It's just another avenue. So purple, red, green. Okay. Purple, red, green, purple, red, green. Well, when you come over here, imagine it like that. Imagine the 60s. Now you're looking at only at the first digit. You're not looking at the last digit. Don't even pretend it's not even there. So you're just going to look at this. So let's pretend this is the red. Okay. So you got red, 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 you have red. That many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits since the beginning of June, 10 days ago. 7 freaking hits. Now, of course, you got to remember, if doubles hit, then this just kind of stays stagnant. Okay. You got to remember that because that can, that can excuse this. So it makes it look like this is hitting all the time. But when the double hits, you got to throw. But like I said, I'm not following the doubles. So if it hits, no hard feelings. It is what it is. And now I just wait. Okay. So this is a red pretending. Okay. And then the 7 is a, let's call it a purple. So 7, 7, or purple, 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 right? Purple, purple, purple. Now remember, this is all data. Okay. This is singles back from 1992. What I'm saying is I've been watching this now for over a year now. Okay. So I have experience in doing this. Trust me, 60s and 70s constantly just go back to back. And every now and then a 50 is sprinkled in, or an 80. Okay. An 80. They'll be sprinkled in there. It's kind of like playing a triple. I don't give a rip. All I'm playing is the 60s and the 70s. Okay. It's all I'm playing. And you'll notice here 60, 60, 2 days in a row. Now, tomorrow, let's just say it's a single. What's tomorrow's going to be? Could it be a 60? Yeah, could be a 60. But could it be a 70? Heck yeah, it could be a 70. Look at 1, 2, hit. 1, 2, hit, hit. 1, hit, hit. 1, 2, 3, hit. 1, 2, hit, hit. 1, hit, hit. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That went 5 draws. Hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 draws, and then a hit. So what I'm saying is that if you pick one of these, like if you see the 70 is out for 5 draws or 6 draws, and that does happen, but it's going to come back. Okay. Now, remember, in like maybe 6 months to a year, there'll be 70s and 80s. Okay. And there probably won't be any 50s. It will change over time, but right now, 60, 70, 60, 70, 60, 70, that is the way it is going to be for at least, months here, and then eventually the 80s will start picking up. And then once the 80s pick up, then it's going to be kind of like an 80, 70, 80, 70, but right now it's 60, 70. Okay. Now this is just doing Wisconsin midday and the evening together. And so 60, 60 tomorrow, I think tomorrow is going to be a 70. So what I will do is I'll go to the top. These are the top ones, top combinations drawn 86 times. I'm going to go down to, if I think tomorrow is going to be a 70, I'm going to collect not the 79 because that's going to turn to an 80. So I'm going to collect the 78 all the way down through the 69. Okay. That's what I'm going to collect. That right there is 51 numbers out of 120 120 box numbers, right? 120 single box numbers because I'm not playing doubles. So this right here, you just cut it well over half here. You got 51 numbers. Okay. Now I don't care what it says for how long they've been out or that doesn't put in my equation at all. I don't give a rip. Like 966 draws, I don't care. Could hit tomorrow. All I'm looking at is a 70. So what I do is I'll take these 70s and I'll save it somewhere, and then I'll collect these 70. Then I'll like I've done over here because I already have one on here. So you'll see here. Actually, I might have deleted it. Like right here, this is from the other day. Now I do update this all the time because after a draw, it will fluctuate. It'll, one will change perhaps to a 70 or something. So here's like these 70s. Okay, then I'll just copy these numbers right here. And I would just bring them over to Slasher, and then I would do let me see something once. Let me see this. 047 is 047, and in here at all, this was from tonight's. So I was thinking that it was going to be a 1 or 6, and that did not happen. And then I was thinking that one of the SBP patterns would hit, and that did not happen either. So, but see, now the stock just goes up more on those. That 1 and 6 too, especially that 1. I don't see 047 in here. That's I'm blind. But anyway, so that's what I do is, so then I'll go over here and I'll drop these in here like this. Clean it up. All right, so there you go. How many do we got? Okay, I was wrong. Well, no, this is an older one. So this is 54. Right now it's currently, right now it is currently 51. I think I counted it. So the 70s are 51. So then what I would do is I would go to work, if this is going to be, if I really think tomorrow is going to be a 70, then I would go to work on these 50 some numbers. I'd look at the keys that are due. So then I would say, you know what? Tomorrow keys 1 and 6 are due. I got to remember that these are not the right set of numbers. So I'm down to 27 numbers, right? And now, am I guaranteed that 70s are going to hit tomorrow? Like I said, no, I'm not. But is there a great chance it's going to hit? Yeah, it's a good chance. And if, as the days go by, guess what? Stock goes up. If you have the money, you can compound it and you can get a win for sure. Like 100%. These are 100% wins. When a 70 hits, you get a win if you're playing the 70s. Okay. And look at all of them. It's just, they're just peppered throughout here. Okay. You're going to go a few draws and get a couple losses. So what? I'm not, that's if you're going to play the whole batch. I'm not saying that, it's 200 and some straights. But if you got the money, but honestly, you don't have to do that, because what you can do is, you can take the 70s, put it into the slasher, and then go look at, SBP, what's due, what keys are due, and you can get this down to like nothing, and then you can play that and win. Otherwise, just play all 54 numbers if you have the money, and compound it. If you see, like, I would only do that though if I see like maybe 2 doubles just hit, so I'm pretty sure a single is going to come, and then on top of that, I would like to also see like the 70 be down to like here or something, and then I'm like, okay, I think the 70 is going to drop, and if the 70 doesn't drop, then I'll put more on it the next day. But I'm never really playing all the numbers. I always filter down. There's always ways to filter down. You don't have to play all the numbers. I mean, it's an easier way if you got the money and you don't spend time on it. And I'd like to get to that point where you treat this stuff like the stock market, like I said, because these are stocks right here. Okay, these are going to hit 100%. Before the end of the weekend, there'll be a 70. There'll probably be another 60. You got 2 draws here. Before next week, there'll be numerous 60s and 70s, and that's 110% gonna happen. And this, you can go here and collect these numbers and just keep compounding it, and you will get massive profits if you can do it without any filtering at all. But I'm filtering down because I ain't got that kind of money to do that right now. Okay, what I would like to do is build up so I can do that. But I hope this makes sense. Hope this makes sense, because this is really works. And every state you go to can be a little different. You have to find like that little spot that works. Okay. Now the other night I had some open. I'm going to show you. So here's the keys. 15. So right now you got California, Kentucky, Mississippi. Okay. I did something kind of this off the fly last night just to try something. And this is what I did was let me see if I have it still open. I must have backed that one up here. So let me just go back to the beginning here. Okay, so what I did is I said, you know what? I'm going to take those 3 states that have a key out over 15. Okay, so we're going to do California mid. We are going to do Kentucky mid, which does come first. Well, I didn't realize that, but okay, so Kentucky comes first. California mid. And then Mississippi, that's still outstanding too. So then what I do is I just go to continue, go to box, and like I said, if a double hits, so be it. It's a risk I'm taking. And then I'm going to go down to not all available history, but I'm going to go literally to 30 days. I know this 30-day stuff is new to me, but it's actually, I've already had like a couple hits yesterday from it. I didn't win, but they were in there. So 30 days. So I'm going to go to last seen like I did when I'm doing my bread and butter one right here for Wisconsin, right? Okay. Okay, now I got too many open here. These stupid ads over here. Okay, so you'll see Let's see what we got. So last seen. So this looks good. So okay, this is for something else I want to show you in a minute. Sorry. Got too many things open. Okay. So here you go. California midday, Kentucky midday, Mississippi cash, box singles. 30 days, you got 70 numbers, 70 box numbers. Now, I am not saying play all 70 numbers, okay? But I am saying if you want to, because here's the thing, you might think, well, I'm going to lose. I would have lost because the double happened in California and then Kentucky wasn't in there and neither was Mississippi. See, I think this was Kentucky and then this was Mississippi. So, and California was a double, so that it just left this stagnant. So, but look what happened. 2 twos hit. Okay. Now, last night when I first did this, being honest, I honestly thought this is what I seen right here. I thought, okay, the 1 is dominating at this time period. And look at it. It just dominates at 30 days for these 3 states, midday, and Mississippi. Just dominates. I'm like, but there could be a 2 because it's just like it's sporadic here and there. But I still said, I even have it wrote down on my paper. Actually, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I have on my paper 0 to 1, 30-day singles, California, Kentucky, Mississippi. I have a 1 turning to a 2 for a different group of numbers. But I did think that. But I thought if it did hit, then it would probably hit the next draw. But because that double, I think if that double wouldn't have hit, I think it would have. But see, this is what I'm saying. Tomorrow, Kentucky is the first batter up. Okay. There's 3 batter. There's 3. I'm taking 3 swings at this. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying play all 3 of these states. What I'm saying is you do a setup. You do a setup of like 3 or 4 or 5 states. And then you set it up so that it looks like it's ready for a 0. These are the zeros turning to a 1. And now you can watch the first one go by. Watch the second one go by. See, that's what I do. Is I typically take 3, 4 states and I'll take the one I'm really looking at is say Wisconsin evening, and I'll take those other states and I'll use those states for my advantage. So then I see, okay, they all hit 2s today. Now the 1 looks like it's about to hit for the evening. There's a high chance. And it's not guaranteed. I never say it's guaranteed, but neither can you or anybody else guarantee any numbers. Okay. Except if you play the whole pattern and you stick with it, then you know it's going to hit. Like these 100%, like that 70. If you play the 70s for Wisconsin, 100%, and you keep compounding that $54 numbers, you're going to win 100%. Like there's not even a doubt in my mind. I mean, look at that's proof. This is all time data and it's just nonstop. I mean, there's not like it can like go to 115. It's not like it can go down to a 40. It is what it is. These are written in stone. It's going to be 60, 70, 60, 70, once in a while, 80 or 50. What you want to do is focus on the ones that hit the most, the 60s and the 70s, and then pick one. And then if one's that's out, like look at the 60 was out there for only 1 draw. So look, it doesn't even go out long. But if you can find a span here, it's hard to even find a span as I'm just looking right now. Maybe like right here. Let's see. So it's 50, 70, 60, 80, 80. Look at that, 60. So there wasn't a 60 for a while there. And then the 60 came. But you knew that if you see it like this, the 60's coming. And sure enough, it came. So that's what I'm saying. And it's no different to what I'm doing now with this. This is just like a fun little thing I tried last night because these 3 states each have a key out over 15. So Kentucky right now, 1 is super due. So what I'm saying is this. Tomorrow, if you wanted to play all 3, what I would say is collect these numbers here. Okay. Because here's the thing. This 0 is going to turn to a 1. And now it's really primed because look at 2, 2. And look at all the 1s. How can anybody look at this and say, oh, I don't think 1s are dominating? 1s are dominating at the 30-day mark. And there's a high chance for a 1 tomorrow. Could it be a 2? Yes. Could it be a 3? Yes. Very well could be a 3. It could even be a 4. Because look, it could be that number. It could be this combination tomorrow. I'm not guaranteeing this. All I'm saying is what I am guaranteeing is if you stick with this and you play it right, you can get it. You can get the win. I mean, look at this. It went 1, 2, 3, 4 here. It went 4 draws with no 1. Okay, at the 30-day mark. But that's not the norm. Okay, the norm is a 1 is going to hit. Okay, and what you're looking at here is something that's set in stone as in days. So this isn't going to fluctuate too much. Once in a while, you'll see those spurts of like that, or even maybe in a little bit more. But then you know what? Then it puts more stock into that 1. Like I said, this could go 3, 4, 5 draws. I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying play all these numbers for that many draws if you don't have the money to do that. I never do that. What I say is collect these numbers, all right? Bring them over to here, to the slasher, drop them in here. And now remember, Kentucky is the first runner up. Now let's just, for example, okay, you start with 70 numbers. And now I'm going to say Kentucky's up. I'm going for that 1. That 1 is super doing Kentucky. 22 to start with. Now I got 22 box numbers to start with. There's a high chance that tomorrow's Kentucky, if it's a single, comes from this right here. It's not guaranteed. I'm kind of actually sick of saying it because I never said that. And I never say that. Like, you know, like, it's just the way it is. You know, like there's always risk. It's a lottery, but we always reduce. Anybody who plays this game reduces in some way, shape, or form. And if you reduce it through tic-tac-toe or rundowns or high, low, even odd, you know, somebody could come and say, well, how you know that's going to hit? I don't know if it's going to hit, you know, but here's the difference. My stuff 100% will hit really shortly. As for a lot of people's stuff, they just have to restart after each thing. I've been there. You just restart and then you just try to redo it all over again every day, every draw, every day, every draw. It's like you're never really getting anywhere. You know, you're better off. I don't know. I don't even know how to play like that anymore. I don't even want to think about that. You know, I like to start with less numbers. But so Kentucky, let me look at Kentucky quick here. Come on, Kentucky. So Kentucky, look at that, 19. 1 is out. 19 draws. You don't think a 1's going to hit soon? I mean, it could go 20, 21, 22. Like I said, I don't know. But there's a high chance that that 1 is going to drop soon in Kentucky. So that's what I'm saying. I take those numbers from over here, okay? Because now that there's been 2 2s in the times drawn, a 1 is very likely. And if the 1 doesn't hit for Kentucky, okay, then guess what? California's next. And if California doesn't hit tomorrow, Mississippi's next. That's what I'm saying. And then if Mississippi doesn't hit tomorrow, then the next day, Kentucky midday would be like hyper ready where I would just play them all. I'd be seriously completely surprised if this goes the whole day tomorrow with not one of these states hitting. Okay. One of these is going to hit terminal 1. This is guaranteed that it's going to hit, but I think it's going to hit tomorrow. So, because the 1 dominates at this time period. Same thing at this SBP when you're looking at the 10 days. You know, when you look at the 10 days, the 1 dominates. Okay. The chance for a 1 tomorrow is very likely. Could it be a 2? Yeah. But it's very likely to be a 1. That's all I'm doing over here. And it works because you reduce your numbers. Okay. And you start off with a lot less numbers. Now, this one doesn't start you off with that much less anyway. But the key is that you got 3 opportunities. So now tomorrow I start off with Kentucky. I'm going just for the 1. I'm not playing with 70 numbers. I'm starting off with this, and I'm not even going to play this many. I'll take this over Lotto odds or wherever I'm going to do it, and I'll break it down like high, low, even odds, stuff like that, or sums due. and I'll just play maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of the numbers. All right. And then the same thing, California, 5 is due. And 5's going to hit. Is it going to hit tomorrow? Probably. I hope so. And like I said, if Kentucky don't hit, then I'll take the same batch of numbers, but I'll refresh it because sometimes they adjust. But if no 0 was pulled, then it won't adjust. So I will take the same thing and I'll do the 5. So then if Kentucky's doesn't hit tomorrow, then I would do the 5. So I'll go like this, put 5 in there, 2 numbers. See what I'm saying? And if that don't hit tomorrow, then Mississippi's up. 21 numbers. Now I'm playing with only 21 numbers, and I'm not playing all of them. Like I said, I'm going to break it down more. I never play with all these numbers. I never advise that unless you got the money, And then even that, I don't ever do that. What I do, like I showed, is I wait. When I'm combining states, I wait, and I'll combine them so that it looks like this. Actually, I'll do it better than this. I'll have it say 2, 3, 2, 3, then ones like crazy, and then 2, 1, couple twos, and a bunch of ones, a couple twos, maybe 3, and then a bunch of ones. So I know it's coming. Just like right here, if it would have looked like this right now, look at it. You would think, oh my gosh, a 1's going to drop, and 1 dropped. See what I'm saying? That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And in another example, one more example is right here. I put together this one. This is Minnesota. As you can see, Texas morning, Virginia night, Wisconsin mid, Wisconsin evening. Singles only, 30 days. Got 49 numbers only boxed. And you'll notice here that it's been a 4 and a 2. And then 1, 1, 1, 1. I call these hits, right? These are all hits. And then there's 2 out, and then 2 more hits. Then there's 3, and then there's 2 hits. So the likelihood of a 1 tomorrow, it's okay. If you look at it. Man, I'm tired. It's like 2:45 in the morning. But anyway, so this is what I'm saying. Like, see, I'm not saying play all these, all right? This is what I'm saying. Wait till this is like better than okay. And if it doesn't work out, then so what? Then I do something else. See what my target on this right here, my target on this one right now is the Wisconsin midday. So tomorrow morning, if Texas comes and goes, and then let's say this is a 3, okay, that means that Wisconsin midday's up, and then there's a better chance for 1. But if Wisconsin midday is another 3, let's say, then Minnesota's up. And guess what? Minnesota has a much greater chance for the 1. But see, I look for a target. Typically, I do a target goal, and I don't normally do 4. I normally do about 3 states or so, not 4 or 5. So let's just say my target is Wisconsin evening. Then I manipulate this so that this shows, something similar to this. And then tomorrow, if it's a 2, a 3, a 2, a 3, then I know that 1's going to drop. And now I will play this. So I keep this option open, and I'll grab these if no 1 was pulled by the evening, because then I know there's a high chance for that, for the winner to come from this. Now, if tomorrow a 1 is pulled in the morning, a 1 is pulled in midday, I'm just going to back away from this, and I'll go either look at like what's due on this stuff, red, and purple, and green, or my go-to thing is the SBP, looking at this, like, let's just look at the 20-day mark. That doesn't show me nothing. Sometimes I'll combine it. Sometimes that shows you something a little bit more. Try to find a state here that shows something like this one here: 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1. High chance, I don't say high chance, but there's a good chance that tomorrow's will come from one of these patterns. Okay, then you can look at the frequency charts and look at the color charts and the new color charts and see what's out. It's really not that difficult. I do way too much, And that's why I like these color charts, these new color charts, because I'm hoping that that's going to bring it to a different level for me, so I don't have to play so much. Like, look at purple. Purple's only hit 4 times in 20 days in Pennsylvania. That's pretty crazy. I feel like that's pretty crazy because Pennsylvania, I mean, purple hits a lot, so that should be coming back. So let's look at that one. It's Pennsylvania. What is that? Purple. That's only 20 days. So it's hit 4. So it's been out 4. So, but I mean, look at these other ones. They hit a lot. And then you can look at that. So, wow, look at that huge gap right there. In Pennsylvania. So also it comes down to your state, what your state likes to do. Every state's different. Every state to a point anyway. There's always similarities in all of it. But, you know, like I learned that from the pair patterns. Some states like Wisconsin, the 8 and 3, just constantly 8 and 3 being pulled. As for other states, damn 8 will be way down below. So you got to kind of look at that way too. And look at 10 to 18 should be hitting here, Pennsylvania. Oh man, I'm tired. Well, I hope this made sense. I mean, it makes sense to me, and I've gotten wins from it, and I watch these things constantly be pulled. I mean, if I sit there and update it and tell people how often these hit, you'd be, you know, it's, I don't even know. I don't know how you can't see it, because it's like they're gonna hit. There's gonna be a 1 coming up here, and you don't have to play them all. Just set it up so that you get that, you know, whatever state you're looking for. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. I do this all the time. I set these up as presets so I know what I'm looking for. And I do the same thing for pairs. I didn't get into that. So maybe in another video I'll do the pairs, because the pairs are, oh my gosh, I've done, and you can even do it, you know, like by itself. Like I do that too sometimes. I'll do just midday. And this way you could do over on lottery on the pick 3-4 site. So here, show you. So you can just come over here to, I'll do midday alone. And I'll go all the way up to the top, and I'll do boxed, and then I'll do all pairs, and then I'll do most recent draw by option. And I look for what this exactly shows. You see that? Look at that. Look at all this. You'd think the damn thing was on descending. Look at that. 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1 was so due, and boom, 1 hit. See that? And the 1 came from those right here. These are the pairs that you can play, or at least, you know, pick out of that, you know. And that, I like to do that. I normally do it like 30 days. So yeah, so look at that. Came from there. If I would have looked at that tonight, I would have played at least out of that. Because see, that's what I would have seen. I would have been like, oh, heck yeah, 1's going to be pulled. And sure enough, the 1 came from down here. So you eliminate all these pairs. That works. And it's like gold, man, because, I mean, look at it. Look at the 2s. Look at 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You don't think another 2 is going to be coming up? Probably be coming up tomorrow. You know what I mean? So 2s do, just go to descending, and then grab the 1s, you know, simple as that, and copy those 1s. Tomorrow will probably come from this. One of these will probably hit tomorrow in Wisconsin. So that's what I like to do. And then another thing I've showed before for the the front pair or back pair, like for Minnesota, let's see if this hit, because I've been waiting for it. I'm going to do BC, and then I'm going to do straight BC action. And I'm going to do 2 years. Let's see if a 1 hit. Okay, no, not 2 years, 90 days. Get off of this ending. Come on. Oh my gosh, it hit. You see what I'm saying? This is what I've been following for, let's see, couple days, it was like right here. And I was so like, oh my gosh, a one's going to hit. Because look at the one. Dominates at this time period. Dominates. And guess what? That only started off with 390 straights instead of 1,000. Because it came out of that right there. That's where that came out of today. I don't remember what it was in Minnesota, but dang it, I missed it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was 088. So that 88 was due, and it's been due forever though, and it's driving me crazy. I played it a couple times earlier, but I was just sick and tired of playing it. I hate doubles. But there it is. That 88 on the back, that was a 0, and that 0 turned to a 1. And that was only 390 numbers. And looking at it from now, I'm like, I could have totally thought, man, that's going to hit. I could have played all 390 numbers if I had the money and just compound that. Because guaranteed a one's going to hit, and it did. That's what I'm saying. Now I can look at the AB. Let's see what the AB shows. AB 1 just hit. Dang it. And see, you can look at that too. You can go to, man, I should do another video on this because I got some really good stuff on this. You can go to each state and like try to find one where a 1 is due. But what you want to do is you want to do like, you want to do them alone. Because if you do them combined, it messes up. So Florida midday, you got 2 2 1 2 1 1 2 2 4 1 1. I mean, it's not really due. It could hit tomorrow, but might go a few more. What you want to do is you want to find one that is like California midday 2 5 1 1 2 1 1 2 2 3. See what I'm saying? You want to find, and you can find that by going over to the 1 to 10% chart, and then you could do. Now, how did I do that? I can't remember how I did that. I was looking at the Peyton. That really works well. Or the just do the Peyton one. And then you do Keys A, California. I can't remember. So California evening, there's a good chance for a 4 or 5 or 6 tomorrow. Like it's down at 1%. That's really good. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I can't remember how I did that. I got to shut this video up. I'm sorry. Super long video. But I got good stuff. If, I like to hear what other people think and what other people do. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always on forums, hovering around, trying to learn stuff. I haven't been lately, but I typically do that sometimes. And this really works. This stuff really works, man. Combining states, and if you're not into that though, then I get it. It can be kind of annoying trying to follow stuff like that. Look at the SBP. Like I said, Tennessee. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm tired, but I was gonna look at Tennessee because I know that green's gonna be hitting soon. And you can look at that. That starts you off with 40 numbers. And then don't forget the SBP pattern, these right here, because these hit fast when they get up to the top like that. I suspect that 9, 12, or 4 probably will be used tomorrow. So then I just jump in here like this. I just click that 9, 12, and 4. What's nice is this actually has doubles in there. So that's kind of nice. And I'm going to get out of there for now. And then I'm going to just put it in here like this. I'm going to start you with 81 numbers. And then you're going to do what I said, a green. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I can't remember what state I'm even doing this for. So I'll do green. Yeah, this is for Tennessee, right? Yeah, Tennessee. So green, that, what does that give me down to? It gives me down to 25 numbers boxed. And then you could go and look at keys they're doing, all that stuff. So, wow, I'm probably not even going to play any games tomorrow because I'm going to sleep till like 1 in the afternoon. So have a good night. Good day.